Let me tell you something about this world we live in. It does not wait for you to be ready. It doesn't care how talented you are if you're not moving. It doesn't hand out participation trophies just because you showed up and said, "I have a dream." This world, this real, raw, and ruthless world, it rewards action. It rewards grit. And it has no patience for those who keep hitting the snooze button on their own potential. I meet people all the time who say, "I want to be successful. I want to be great. I want to make my mark." But when I ask, "What are you doing about it?" they look at me like I asked them to solve a math equation in a foreign language. They want the finish line without running the race. They want applause without sacrifice. But success is a jealous companion. It doesn't show up unless you chase it. You can't flirt with hard work and expect loyalty in return. You gotta marry discipline. You gotta commit to pain, because pain is the rent you pay to own your future. This world, it's busy, it's crowded. There are millions of people out there grinding, building, bleeding for their shot. So ask yourself, why should the world make space for someone who won't even fight for themselves? Why should opportunity knock on your door when you're sitting in silence, doing nothing to invite it in? This isn't a movie where the music swells and things magically fall into place. This is life, and life has a cold way of reminding you, if you don't show up for yourself, no one else will. You can't pray for greatness and then sleep through your blessing. You can't speak about your goals louder than you work for them, because eventually, the world stops listening to words and starts measuring actions. And look, I'm not judging, I've been there. I've been that person waiting for someone to pick me, for the world to see me. But one day, I had to look in the mirror and say, stop waiting for someone to give you a chance. Be the one who creates it. If you're tired, that's okay. If you're scared, that's human. But if you're lazy, if you're sitting on your gifts, waiting for a miracle, then let me be the thunder that wakes you up. No miracle is coming without movement. You want the truth. Here it is, this world belongs to the ones who don't just want it, but the ones who work like they need it. Laziness is seductive. It whispers in your ear, take a break, you've done enough. It tells you tomorrow is a better day to start, that you can push your purpose back another hour, another week, another year. Comfort feels good, real good, until you realize it's been robbing you while you sleep. You ever notice how time moves faster when you're doing nothing? That's because laziness steals your hours and sells them to regret. And the cruel thing about regret is it never gives you a refund. Once time is gone, it's gone. You can't rewind life. You can't ask for a do-over. The bed you lie in is made of the choices you refused to make when it mattered. See, people think the enemy is failure. No, it's comfort. Failure will teach you. Failure will humble you. But comfort will numb you. It'll rock you to sleep with soft lies like, "You've got time," or "You're doing okay," or "At least you're not like them." And while you're relaxing in your false sense of security, somebody else out there is outworking you, outrunning you, outdreaming you. You think your competition is across town? Nah. Your competition is in another country, working through the night, studying, building, sacrificing. While you're scrolling, while you're talking about it, while you're busy being comfortable, you're not just falling behind, you're giving your spot away. I've seen it, I've lived it. I've been in those rooms where opportunities were being handed out, and I've seen how quickly they pass you by if you're not ready, not talented, ready. There's a difference. Talent without work is noise. Potential without movement is just decoration. You can have all the gifts in the world, but if you're not willing to push past your comfort, this world will treat you like you don't exist. Comfort kills dreams slowly. It doesn't destroy them in a dramatic explosion. No, it erodes them one soft excuse at a time, one more nap, one more episode, one more "I'll do it tomorrow," until one day you look up and realize that tomorrow never showed up, and neither did your future. And maybe right now you're thinking, "But I'm tired." Yeah, I hear you, so was everyone else who made it. But they kept going. They dragged themselves through the fire when it would have been easier to sit in the shade. They gave up comfort so they could build character, because deep down they knew, this world doesn't owe you rest. It owes you nothing. If you want it, you go get it. Comfort may be warm, but it will never be fulfilling. You weren't born to coast. You were born to climb, and every time you choose comfort over purpose, you trade greatness for ease. You've got one life, one shot. Don't waste it being comfortable. You know when people see the success, the lights, the stage, the respect, they think it came easy. They think maybe I had some kind of secret weapon, some shortcut, some golden opportunity just waiting for me to say yes. Let me set the record straight. I came from nothing, no silver spoon, no elevator to the top. Just stairs, broken ones, and I climbed every single one with blistered feet and tired legs. I remember being in rooms where nobody knew my name, where I was told, "You're not right for this," where doors weren't just closed, they were slammed. And I stood outside those doors with nothing in my hands but belief. Belief that if I kept showing up, if I kept working when nobody was watching, eventually, someone would hear the knock. And if they didn't, I'd kick the door down. I've been broke. I've been doubted. I've had more people tell me no than yes. But every time I got knocked down, I got up. Not because I felt strong, but because I refused to stay weak. I've had moments when all I had left was a prayer, when my back was against the wall and the wall was closing in. But even then, I never laid down. I crawled if I had to. I hustled through heartbreak. I worked through silence. I kept moving even when it felt like I was running in place. You see, effort was the only currency I had. I couldn't buy influence. I couldn't pull strings, but I could outwork people. I could stay in the fight longer. I could study when others slept, practice when others played, show up early, stay late, and do the job nobody wanted to do. And that's what built me. There's something about working through pain that teaches you who you are. When life tests you, and trust me, it will test you, you learn what's real. I learned that no one was coming to save me, that every excuse was a chain. That laziness for me would have been a death sentence for the man I wanted to become. So I chose sweat over sympathy. I chose grit over gifts. I chose to suffer for something instead of sitting still for nothing. You want to know the truth? I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the most connected. But I was the most determined, and that was enough. So don't look at where I am today and think I just got lucky. No, I built this one painful, unglamorous, invisible brick at a time. And if I can do that, with everything stacked against me, then so can you. Everybody's got something inside them. I believe that. I really do. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your background looks like, what they called you, what they said you couldn't do. You've got a fire inside you. Now, whether you light that fire or let it go cold, that's on you. See, the thing is, most people don't fail because they don't have potential. They fail because they never turn the ignition. They let fear keep the match in their hand. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect confidence, but that moment never comes because fire doesn't wait. It's either burning or it's dying, and you gotta feed it every day. You've got something in you that no one else has, a vision, a voice, a calling, but talent without drive is like a matchbook in the rain, useless. You've got to protect that flame like your life depends on it, because one day it will. There were nights I laid awake wondering if it was worth it, if I was enough, if I should just give in and settle for less than what I felt in my gut I was called to be. But that fire wouldn't let me sleep. It kept pushing me, kept whispering, "Not yet, not now, you've got more in you." And I listened, I trusted it, even when everything around me said to quit, to be realistic, to take the safe route. I chose the fire. But fire needs more than belief. It needs discipline. It needs fuel, and you don't feed it with excuses. You feed it with action, with early mornings and late nights, with sacrifices that nobody sees. You show up even when the world gives you no applause, no recognition, no reason to keep going. You grind because the dream inside you refuses to die quietly, and I know it's hard. I know some days that fire feels like it's fading. Life throws water on it. People try to smother it. Doubt tries to bury it. But that's when you dig deep. That's when you fan the flames with everything you've got. Because this fire, it's your identity. It's your future. And if you let it go out, you're not just giving up a dream. You're giving up who you were born to be. The fire in you doesn't come from the outside. It's not based on likes or followers or validation. It's built in silence, it's born in struggle, it's forged in lonely places where only you can hear it roar. So if you've got that fire, protect it, feed it, trust it, and let it drive you until the world has no choice but to feel the heat. Let me ask you something real, and I want you to sit with this. What are you waiting for, honestly? What more needs to happen before you decide to rise? You say you've got a dream, good. You say you've got potential. Great, but so do a lot of people. The difference is, some move and some talk. Some build and some wish, and the sad truth, most never leave the ground, not because they didn't have wings, but because they never tried to fly. You think your dream's just gonna knock on your front door, shake your hand, and say, "Hey, I've been looking for you." No, that dream is waiting, but it's not coming to you. It's out there, down the road paved with sacrifice, guarded by sweat, hidden behind failure, and surrounded by fear. And it's daring you to come find it. You've got to chase it like your life depends on it, because it does, not your physical life, but the life you were meant to live, the version of you that doesn't settle, the version that doesn't fold under pressure, the version that gets back up with blood on their face and says, "Is that all you've got?" We live in a world full of noise, people shouting, posting, pretending. But let me tell you something loud and clear. Your life will not be remembered by what you say. It will be remembered by what you do, by how you moved when no one was clapping, by how you stood when it would have been easier to shrink. You can spend your whole life sitting on the edge, waiting for permission, or you can jump. You can rise, not when it's convenient, not when it's comfortable, but now, because there's no such thing as the right moment. The only right moment is the one you decide to own. Look around you. There's somebody out there with half your skill doing twice the work. There's somebody with fewer resources, fewer connections, but more hunger. And they're climbing while you're waiting. You've got to stop playing small just because it's safe. Playing small won't protect you from pain. It'll only guarantee you never taste greatness. You've got something to give this world. You've got something to build. But no one is going to hand you the tools. You've got to go get them. You've got to dig. You've got to grind. You've got to rise, not once, not twice, but every single time you're knocked down, overlooked, doubted, or delayed. The world may not be easy, it may not be fair, but it will make room for the one who refuses to sit still. So don't just dream big, move big, don't just hope. Work, don't just talk about rising, rise. Because when it's all said and done, when the lights fade and the crowd goes quiet, what matters most isn't who believed in you. It's whether you believed in yourself enough to act. Now get up, it's your time. So now you've heard it. No sugar coating, no shortcuts, no soft landings. This world is not for the lazy. It's not for the ones waiting on luck. It's not for the ones who only move when it's easy, who only show up when the spotlight's on. This world, the real world, it opens its arms to the relentless. It rewards the ones who keep swinging long after the crowd goes home. The ones who show up when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when nobody believes but them. You want your life to mean something, then live like it does. You want to leave a mark, then press harder, dig deeper, because no one's going to remember how many times you said you wanted it. They'll remember how hard you fought for it. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need a perfect plan. All you need is a decision right now to rise, to move, to act, because dreams don't chase people. You chase the dream, and if you don't, someone else will. So stand up, look life dead in the eye, and say you picked the wrong one to give up on. Let the world know you showed up, you stayed hungry, and you never backed down. Thank you.